Hello and welcome to the Billingham Forum Ice Arena and welcome to Stars Talk. So, joining me on the show tonight, Blue Line's number 36, Callum Davies, number 15, Chris Sykes, number 32, Michael Elder, as well as defensive coach number 17, Richie Thornton. Welcome to the show, guys. So, coming up, arch rivals the Whitley Warriors come to the Forum for the second leg of the Tyne Tees derby. A shaky start for the Stars and a desperate comeback that just came short, leading to the Warriors winning 6-5. We set the tone at the very start of the season, but then the Dragons went and did something nobody expected, climbing to the top of the league table, but Billingham able to hold off the ever-progressing side and beating the Dragons with a scoreline at 8-2. We'll be looking at the highlights of the highlights. Chris Sykes' wrist shot turned drop shot, bouncing off the glove of Lawson before ending up in the back of the net. The Blue Line stitching up Mark Compton of the Dragons, sprawling on the floor before a shot between the legs from Michael Elder and his hat-trick goal. And incredible teamwork from Palm York and Watkins, passing out from behind the net before a slap shot through the legs of Lawson. And finally, we'll be looking ahead to this weekend's away game against the Blackburn Hawks and home game against the Telford Tigers. So let's start with the Whitley Warriors, the second leg of the Tees Tyne derby. And Richie, it was a shaky start for the Stars in the first period.
Yeah, it was one of the worst starts we've had to a game in the last few seasons I can remember, really. One that we don't really want to revisit.
And Michael, you were very prominent on the ice, doing a lot of work and putting in a man of the match performance at the end. The Stars come back through the second and third. Just wasn't enough, but a much better performance than that first period.
Yeah, I think we obviously we knew Whitley were going to come out strong. They did last week, and we just weren't prepared for it. We got the goal. I think we took the time out. We regrouped as a team. We got the goal at the end of the first period, and we pushed on from there. We came out in the second period, and we had them on the ropes a little bit. We got the second and the third. We just couldn't push on from there.
And how are you recovering with your accident with the puck then?
Yeah, it's all right. We spent Saturday night in A&E and Sunday night with a plastic surgeon. But no, we're all right. I think wore a protection on Sunday night, but we've got to go this weekend.
Chris, a goal and an assist from yourself in the Warriors game. Happy with your performance?
Yeah, I turn up, try and get as many points as I can, help these two out. It's always nice to score. But yeah, I think we played well as a line all weekend. Mikey getting a few goals, Callum even chipped in over the weekend. So yeah, it was good all round, and I'm quite happy how we played together and myself. Yeah.
Obviously, this was a cup game, which a lot of people will kind of say, well, it's only the cup and it's not as important as the league. But Callum, is that kind of the shared view of the players as well?
No, I wouldn't say that was the case at all. I mean, a lot of the time, if you get off to a bad cup run, it tends to affect your league campaign as well. So definitely not looking at the cup as games that are going to be easy or anything like that at all. So yeah, we definitely look to keep a good cup run going, especially after winning it last year. So I'd like to retain that as well if possible, but not a great start, I guess.
So for all of you, really, do you think that the Warriors were genuinely a good side at Saturday's game, or do you think it was down to lack of performance from the Stars? Whoever wants to jump in on that.
I think it's a combination of both, really. They always start the games well, and they've got some good forwards and some good D, and they've got good coaching there. So they always tend to start games well, and they always play. Well, what we've learned so far, they play the same sort of system, routine, sort of week in, week out, home or away. So we've just got to get used to, matching up against them in the first 10 or 15 minutes of a game, and obviously take the game from then on, really.
So moving quickly on to a much better game, the Deeside Dragons, and an 8-2 scoreline at the Forum. Coming back to yourself, Richie, really good performance defensively from the Stars. Happy with how they played out there?
Yeah, it was much better than the night before, and it was better than weeks gone by as well this season in particular. So D-side had been turning teams over and getting quite a few goals against lots of the other teams as well. So we wanted to make sure we were ready from the start, not like the night before. And it was quite the opposite, really, wasn't it? We got 2 goals in the first minute, only conceded 2 goals all night. So no, we were happy. Yeah.
Callum, Richie touching upon it a little bit there. That previous game and disappointment that was kind of on the faces of everyone on the ice at the end, did that really give an urge to come out and do better to get those crucial league points?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, especially losing any derby game like that, especially in the manner we did, starting first 12 minutes with 4 goals down, I think it was. So I think we definitely used that on the Sunday to kickstart. Like Richie said there, 2 goals in the first 30 seconds. So, but on the derby game, it's always going to be hard to come back from, especially starting the way we did. So, yeah, we don't want to start like that anymore, I don't think.
2 goals within 11 seconds of each other. Chris, that must have really knocked the wind out of the sails of the Dragons.
Yeah, definitely. 2 goals in 30 seconds kills any team, no matter who they are or how good they are. And to start a game that way, for us, gave us the front foot and we just built from there. They got 1 back on us, but at no point did I think, oh, we're in trouble, because I knew we'd get more goals in as the game went on, kind of thing, yeah.
And Michael, man of the match for both games, so you must have done something right, probably something to do with that hat-trick.
Yeah, it's always nice to grab a hat-trick, quite rare on my occasion. But you like to help the team out any way possible. I was fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time on quite a few of those goals. I think the first one was the puck looked like it was bobbling, and I thought there's a chance that the defender can't get this, so I just kind of gambled on it. Luckily the gamble paid off. The second one, I don't really think the keeper was positioned correctly, so I got the puck to the net and it went in. And then the third one, I think obviously he was scrambling all over the place, so I knew he was going to have a tough time getting back in the goal. So again, we always just tell everyone, put the puck to the net and good things happen.
Save the discussion for the third one, we'll be coming to that in a bit. It would be easy to kind of say that the Dragons, being a Laidler team coming up into the Marley, that it was going to be an easy game for the Stars, but we've seen from how they've been doing, how they were getting to the top of the table, that's not the case, and they've won the majority of their games. So really it was a great performance from the Stars, and a well-deserved one, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, we knew going into Sunday that we weren't going to be playing the same Dragons team as we did down at their place. Obviously, you look around the league and they've turned the likes of Telford over twice. They've gone to Solihull and picked up 2 points. So we knew that they would come out fast as well. We just had to, having the Saturday night in the back of our minds, we knew that we couldn't afford to come out slow. So we had to get a fast start, and luckily we did, and I think we killed them off in the first period.
One thing that I just wanted to touch upon, at the end of the second period, quite nasty hit from Corey Stones of the Dragons, and that on Ben Davison. You've really got to look out for your own when stuff like that happens, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, we're a team, we're not going out to fight, but if one of our players gets hurt by someone, or if someone comes out to injure one of our players, then yeah, we'll do something about it. But I've seen people say that we need to get someone to do stuff like that, but we're all here together. We're all going to look after each other if you have to. So if that happens, we will do, yeah.
We haven't got any cards or anything with numbers on, but scores for that fight between Scott Cooper and Corey Stones, guys.
Well, he got straight in there, and it was a good even fight, I thought. I'd have put it as a bit of a tie, but obviously it was down to us to react, and Scott did, so that's what we need to do.
Bring that bit of that last bit of warrior across to the Stars. Right, let's have some look at some clips then. Time for the highlights of the highlights. And the first one comes from the Warriors game with that goal from Chris Sykes, where a wrist shot kind of turned into a drop shot. So let's take a look at that.
Holland winds into the zone, shoots! Was that a blocker save, or did that just go over? And here's a chance now, Sykes, he's got Elder with him. Chris Sykes comes in, shoots! Oh, it is! Oh, dear me, Richie Lawson!
There's the best and worst of Richie Lawson in
100%,
15
seconds, yeah.
15 seconds.
Netminder of his calibre has to make that save. Sykes comes in, he called his own number, took the shot, off the blocker of Lawson.
He used Michael Elder very, very well there.
So Chris, very quick up the wing and maybe not straight into the net, but nevertheless it went in, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. A 2-on-1. I picked it up just outside their zone, and I saw someone on the back post. Decided to take a shot myself. Knew it was going to go in when I shot it. Hit the keeper on the shoulder, went up in the air. As the puck was in the air, I saw Mikey's face behind the puck. Nobody else wants to see that face. But when it dropped in, he started to smile, which is obviously good. But yeah, he went in at the end of the day, which is good for me and obviously the team as well.
Yeah, people are starting to talk about the save, and then all of a sudden it's just in the back of the net, and you're jumping on Michael Elder. So yeah. Next clip then, and this one is from the Dragons game, and it's the goal that made Michael Elder a hat-trick scorer. So let's take a look at this.
The Dragons are really struggling defensively at the moment. As Compton is sprawling on the ice. Oh, Matt Compton was sprawled on the ice. Doesn't really know where the puck was. It finds Michael Elder, who's wide open, and he sticks it in from the left face-off circle. 5-1, and the Dragons are starting to struggle at the minute with the Billingham Stars. They are cycling the puck. They're getting the puck down low. They're cycling it very well. They're keeping possession of it, and they are forechecking very hard to retain the possession of the puck.
So Michael, a brilliant performance from yourself, and obviously that goal getting you the hat-trick, and even wearing the fishbowl as well, so pretty skilled. Compton sprawling all over, and you just saw that opportunity, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we had a good spell in their zone as a line before that. I think we were hemmed them in, and I think they were getting tired. The puck just fell loose. I think Carl had it in the corner. I think passed it up to Richie at the point. And I couldn't decide whether Richie was going to shoot, to be honest. Normally he does, but I found myself with a puck, and Compton was scrambling, so I think we said earlier on that if you get the puck to the net, good things will happen. So that was it. Just get the puck towards the net, and luckily it went in.
I think you guys really had Compton kind of beat already, and it was just a case of who was going to hit it in the end. So a really good goal there. Back to the Warriors game, and they're not here, but we're going to talk about the performance of Dan Palm-York and Jack Watkins, and a really fantastic goal effort. So let's have a look at that.
Chris Sykes now plays it forwards to Jack Watkins. Watkins finds Palm-York on his backhand, gets the shot off, blocker save, and Palm-York still collects the puck. Goes all the way around, finds Jack Watkins!
Brilliant from Dan Palm-York again.
Fantastic stuff from Dan Palm-York.
Brilliant from the Billingham Stars, and brilliant from Dan Palm-York. He was in control at all times. It looked like he lost the puck under his feet. One little, what you can't call it, kick in football, just flicks it out with the back heel of his foot to his stick, and a great pass to a wide open Jack Watkins.
Yeah, so we have played 4 minutes and 8 seconds of the second period, and the Stars have cut the deficit to 2.
So Richie, the Warriors defenders didn't really have a clue where that puck was coming from, did they? And leaving Lawson all alone.
No, I mean, Jack's quite high in the slot there, and obviously we've got Jack and down on that third line, so we've got 3 strong forward lines, and both of them we got them out there as well. So I think by the time you've gone through a few rotations, and we've had Whitley Bay in their end for quite a long time there, you just can't keep defending for that long, and Jack's wide open right at the top of the slot after about 40 seconds in their end, so no, that's exactly what we want.
And our final clip comes from the Dragons game, and a goal that kind of was a surprise to everyone because all we could see was the netminder and all of the Dragons players in front of it. But Callum Davies did manage to score, so let's have a look at that one.
Have to be careful. Skate through the zone from Callum Davis, saved by Armstrong. After Davis went backhand, forehand to create the opportunity. And now Sykes forces a save again from Armstrong. And now it skates through! A second effort.
Yes, Chris Sykes skates in from the netminder's left circle. He gets a shot on the net, which gives a big rebound, which falls straight to Callum Davies, who flings it back on net and makes it a 7-2 game for the Billingham Stars.
So Callum, a shot finding a near non-existent gap between the netminder's legs. Happy with that one?
Yeah, very happy, but quite surprised, I'd say, because I didn't know a lot about it at all. I mean, I think I had 2 or 3 shots before that on the same shift and didn't get any joy. And it pretty much sums up the start of my season shooting-wise, as you've seen from Blackburn. Last time I was on here, I got a bit of stick off Mikey about that miss that I had. So, yeah, it's nice to finally bag a goal, yeah.
You guys probably look at all the figures, or maybe you just leave ice hockey aside until the next game. But between the 4 of you, 6 goals, 9 assists across the weekend, and a total of 15 points between you all. So you must all be pretty happy with your performance as well.
I've got one thing to say. Hashtag Pieline.
Well, there you go. So, so 2 games this weekend and a lot of action on the ice. So I kind of want you all to just think of one standout moment from the whole weekend. Start with yourself, Callum. So what would be your highlight of the weekend?
It's sort of not game related, but Mikey was taking a bit of stick off one of the D-side players after scoring his hat-trick goal. I think the line was, "What's Fishbowl doing here?" And his response was, "Scoring hat-tricks, that's what." And he shut him down completely, so that would be my highlight, I think.
Chris, yours?
My highlight of the weekend, not because he's sat here, but I think Mike played really well this weekend, scored goals, did his job. That's what power forwards do, though, isn't it, Mike?
Yourself, Michael?
Well, I can tell you what my highlight wasn't this weekend. That was getting hit in the face with a puck. But yeah, it's always nice to put a few goals on the board. It gives you a bit of confidence as a line as well. I think 5 goals this on Sunday, so hopefully we can just continue that forward.
And yourself, Richie?
Yeah, I mean, these lads had a great night on a Sunday, but I think Daniel, I would try and say his second name, but he made a nice saucer pass over to Jack Emerson. He'd worked hard off the puck, and I like seeing them sort of goals, so it was a good goal, yeah. That was my highlight.
So this weekend, travelling to Blackburn once again, and 1 win against them, 1 loss against them so far this season. They do have Bentham back now, and then obviously the news today that Nyman is going to be leaving. Can we hold off the Hawks and secure a win for the Stars, Richie?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know what they're all about now. I think Bentham's an upgrade to the guy that's leaving there. He knows the league, and we all know what Bentham's capable of doing. He always seems to have some success against us, as we've noticed, so we need to definitely shut him down. But, you know, for the back end of last season and sort of this season, we're starting to get some decent results against Blackburn, learn how to play against them. If I remember rightly, you know, we won there the back end of last season as well, so now we'll be going to win. Like, we're not worried about going to Blackburn at all, really.
Just because we have mentioned Bentham, obviously he played quite a big part for the Sharks' success so far this season as well. Do we think that's going to really affect the Sharks, him leaving, or do you think they're just going to continue?
I think they lose a lot of points in Bentham. He does get a lot of points, and he is a good player. I think with Sharks, he was their standout forward. Now he's left, I see Sharks losing their points to Blackburn, but then again in Blackburn, they don't have as many forwards as what they had last year. So it kind of evens out in a way, but I think he'll be a good asset to Blackburn, and hopefully we can shut him down on Saturday.
Michael, do you think if the Stars execute a similar game plan as they did on Sunday that we can go on and beat the Hawks?
Absolutely. There's no reason why we can't go down there and beat them. We've got to have a strong start. When we don't have a strong start, we know what happens. And then you've just got to push on from there. It's always a hostile environment going to Blackburn. You've got to hold them off for the first 10 minutes. They always come out strong. And then once we set into our game, I think that's when we trouble them.
Well, we have talked about the Hawks a lot in our past shows, so I don't want to waste any more time talking about them. And I want to focus on the Telford Tigers, because this is going to be our first meeting with them this season on Sunday. Would anyone like to jump in and share their thoughts of Telford so far this season?
Yeah. obviously we haven't played Telford this year, so we don't know what they're all about. However, we did play Blackburn last season, and they tend to have, well, they seem to have got half their squad. But looking at recent results, I mean, D-side have turned them over twice. So we've beat D-side 16 goals to 3, I think it was, overall so far. So I don't think there's any reason why we can't go there and turn them over either.
Yeah, I totally agree with Colin there. We should be looking to go down there and, play them exactly the same way as we've played teams recently. They haven't had the best of starts. I don't think they've had the sort of start that they were expecting to have. But we do know them. We do know a lot of their players from the Telford team last year and from the Blackburn team last year. So we know exactly what we're going to be up against. It's a case of getting down there and playing our game against them. We'll be trying to play the exact same way we played against D-side on Sunday night.
I was actually going to mention that Telford have only won one game so far this season, and that was against Sutton Sting. Do you think they're going to pose real competition for us, Chris?
I feel like they're a good team. They've got like players like Adam Brittle and Matt Viney from Blackburn last year. Also Dangy in net, who's a good goalie. I feel like if we play our game, like Mikey said, if we play our game and we stick to what we can do, I feel like we will beat Telford on Sunday night at home, yeah.
We could actually talk a lot about Telford, because if we cast our lines back to the last 8 seconds of the last game we had against them, it was you guys that prevented the loss and got the equaliser. So hopefully, Callum, we can get more goals and get ahead this time and get the win.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to be looking to get off to a good start, especially seeing what happened on Sunday night against D-side. And we certainly don't want to be waiting until the last 7, 8 seconds, I think it was, to get a scrappy one time. I mean, it was a nice shot, Mikey, but I mean, we don't want to be holding off till the last minute just to get a tie, especially not against a team that have not done anything so far this season. So we definitely want to take the points against them, yeah.
So a final word from yourself, Richie. What are you and the team going to be focusing on training ready for this weekend, or do you want to hold that back away from the enemy?
Well, do you want me to tell you exactly what we're going to do? There's a good chance they might watch this. No, I mean, without giving too much away, we just keep on working on what we've been working on. We've been improving, I think, weekly, minus the step up in that first 10 minutes, which it really was only that first 10 minutes against Whitley Bay. Keep working on that press and keep working on playing everybody and get everybody out there. We seem to be getting success when we roll the lines quickly and keep fresh bodies on the ice. So yeah, that's what we'll be trying to do.
Brilliant. Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there, guys, because that is all we've got time for. But Callum, Chris, Michael and Richie, thank you very much for joining us this week. So thank you for watching this episode of Stars Talk. We'll be back next week with a rundown of the away game against Blackburn Hawks and the home game against the Telford Tigers this weekend, as well as a look ahead to the Stars' next game the following weekend, which will be against the Solway Sharks. Like Billingham Stars TV on Facebook and follow us at Billingham TV on Twitter as well. And if you've got any questions that you'd like us to ask on the next episode, then do get in touch with us via those social media accounts, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well to make sure you never miss a thing. Get all the links in one place at www.starstv.co.uk. But from everyone here at the Billingham Stars, bye bye. Thank you very much, guys.